Hey guys, listen, when I talk about comfort, okay, my thought process when it comes to comfort is what most human beings try to attain. Okay, so we try to attain it because we hate, as we age, challenges, any kind of pain, any kind of discomfort, any kind of things that take us out from where we feel okay. The problem being is when you get rid of comfort or when you get rid of discomfort, you actually are destroying the human body, not only mentally, spiritually and physically. You're destroying it. It can't survive. That's why it breaks down. That's why you have pain. That's why you have anxiety. That's why you have depression. You have all these things because the discomfort that we all try to get rid of is a thing that actually pushes us. It makes us better. Okay. We're trying to make this easy life for ourselves because we don't want to work hard. We don't want to do this. So, okay, I don't want to have any of these challenges. Look at how many people you know, okay, as they age, they start to fall apart. Now they're going to blame it on age, which age has very little, if anything, to do with. Okay. We know certain things, the cells start to break down here and there. But for the most part, age has very little to do, okay, with chronologically. So what is causing this problem? Well, we want to go to our comfort. We have our comfort food, which typically is what ice cream, sugar stuff, salty chips, things of that nature. So they're our comfort food. We also want to sit in, a house that, we paid for where it's air conditioned, it has heat, and we turn it on, as soon as it feels like it's a little cold out. Not that it's really cold, it gets down to like 50 and then all of a sudden everybody's freaking out, got to crank the heat on, or it gets above 70 some and, 80 degrees and you got to crank the AC on. We're losing what makes human beings different. We're losing what makes us so unique. And it's our ability to adapt, our ability to change, okay, and process things of how to adapt and how to change. See, most animals can adapt over time, but very few can do it at the speed that human beings should be able to do it at. But see, we're losing that because of this comfort. We're becoming like every other thing out there. And this is a problem. This is why disease is so rampant. This is why pain and everything else is so rampant because some of us are valuing that so much more than what we should be. So I have a lot of people who come in, they work out. Okay. Now you're saying, well, they get uncomfortable. I agree with you. But the problem is when they're done, then they become comfortable. So they work out for that hour, hour and a half, whatever, 2 hours. Then they allow their body to be destroyed because they go sit or stand for long periods of time. Right? So it destroys the human body because there's no challenge in it because you're doing the same thing over and over again. And that's usually what happens with our workouts. Yes, we might change them up here and there. Hey, this day I'm doing chest, next day back, but it's a constant process of the same thing over and over. So without a challenge, without these things that we're supposed to do, the body lives in comfort. And then it becomes stale and it becomes lazy and it becomes predictable. And the human body doesn't like that. Now it will do it because it's an adapting machine, but that's how it works. And I know a lot of people will not understand this, and that's fine because science or something didn't back it up. But you have to look deeper than just science. You have a spirit inside of you. Okay. Now we can argue all day about the spirit, especially atheists and people who are half believers. Many Christians I know that are half believers. They don't believe half of what they should. Don't understand what the spirit is. The spirit inside of you wants you to thrive, wants you to work, wants you to continue to push yourself. Yes, is there a time for rest and recovery? No question about it. Even our greatest person who walked this earth, Jesus Christ, had to go up into the mountains and get away from people to rest. So I'm not against that. What I am against is the lack of understanding because you're not allowing the spirit to talk to you. You're not allowing the spirit to push you to be greater than what you thought. And I don't care if you're 60 or 70 years old. Stop giving me those dumb numbers. If you're overweight, there's a reason because you allow laziness to come in. Now you can argue all day long, well, I don't, I did. Then if there's another reason behind it, then you need to find that reason without drugs. There are reasons you can find. How many of you have actually done a DNA test on yourself? And I'm not talking about 23andMe trying to figure out your ancestry. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm talking about a real DNA test to tell you what is going on in your body and what it's made up of. That will actually answer a ton of questions because some people, and I've talked about this with many of my clients and many people online, some things that you take in don't work in your body type. And I talk about this with my methylfolate, all right, a detox process. I can't take 5-methylfolate, which most people can if you're deficient in it. I can't because my body doesn't process it. I have to take something totally different to actually get the benefit that everybody else will get. Now, some people don't need to take anything because the gene they have is fine. I talk about dementia all the time. That's my next course that I'm going to be coming out with because I studied this and done research into it. But I'm higher for dementia. I have a higher rate because of my gene. I know that, so then I can prepare for it. How many of you people are actually doing something? You don't want to know, so you don't want to get uncomfortable until it's too late. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forget this, I forget that, forget this, forget this. Oh, it's just age. And then 10 years later, now all of a sudden you're almost in full-blown dementia. The signs of dementia show up typically 20 years before, but you have to get uncomfortable. You have to accept that, yeah, I'm getting uncomfortable now, so I don't have to pay a price later on. But see, a lot of you got real comfortable. You finished up college, you were in shape, you had a family, and all of a sudden you started to get comfortable. And I'm not talking about, well, you didn't run kids here and there, but when you got there, you sat in your car, you did nothing. You didn't try to, stimulate your brain and things like that. You just sat there, you scrolled and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, there's times that I do that as well. A lot of times I get out and do some workouts. Other times I'm working on my business, right? But you got comfortable, started eating like crap, stopped moving as much. And then all of a sudden you're overweight. Now your health sucks and your body's falling apart because you allowed yourself to get comfortable. There's a bunch of guys that I know um, that continue to work out. They're in their 50s and stuff, and they're in phenomenal shape. They've never stopped. So the time they got done with, in college playing sports and things like that, they have not stopped. They don't allow themselves to get comfortable. They keep pushing, keep going. And if you saw these guys, you'd be like, there's no way that guy's 57, 56, 52, whatever. Be like, there's no way. Because they outrun some of my guys that are in college. Even some of my guys that are in college that are playing sports are like, those guys are beast. It's the mindset. It's the spiritual aspect. It's the physical aspect. All the things that I talk about all the time. That's what Earth Strong is. That's why I keep trying to profess to people you need to get involved with the program, the Earth Strong program, not just getting outside and lifting, logs and things like that. That's just a small part of it. The whole program is deeper than that. It's get you to understand who you are, where you're from, why you have to do these things, why it's beneficial, okay, to be in a group, to push each other. These are the things I talk about. You have to get that uncomfortable part out, but we don't want to do that. We want to live in comfort and hopefully they're going to come up with some kind of pill to help fix me. Or my blood pressure's high, so I'll take these pills to keep it low and I'm fine. You never got to the root cause, so you still have the issue. Sorry. I don't care what the pill does. You still have the issue. There's an issue why it's going on. And don't tell me you did everything like, oh, you great. I do all these exercises. Then there's something deeper and you have to dive deeper into it. But you're not willing to do that. And that's what irritates me. People complain and bitch about everything in this world. Yet the majority of stuff comes back on us. Yes, I know the government sucks. I say it every time. They suck. Okay? There's only so much you can do about that. It's part of life. Unfortunately, if we can live in a society where we just obey God, wouldn't need a government, it would be much better. But it's not going to happen. So you have to do everything within your power to take care of yourself. Stop visiting the doctor. Stop making them richer and richer and richer and richer because you're not taking care of yourself and you have to go see them every so often. Get to a point where you can actually take control and have true freedom of that. Get out of the comfort zone now. Am I not saying you can't have some comfort things here and there? Not at all. But we value that way too much. I spoke in my post, we're paying 50 to $60,000 for a pool. That's comfort. You don't need that. That's comfort. Somebody cuts my grass. Why? Why can't you get your ass out there and do something? Right? And there's many people who can. Trust me, they're able-bodied, but they don't want to. Oh, I don't want to spend time on that because I want the green stuff because we have greed in our lives and we want as much green as we possibly can because we think that's going to make us happy. And does it solve some problems? No question about it. But does it cause a lot of other problems? Yeah, because I see it all the time. I see a lot of rich people that are freaking banged up and broken, constant stress, right? Always complaining. They have a lot of money. Hell, it's cool. Doesn't matter. They have all the money in the world. And they're hoping that they make it to whatever, 60 or whatever, that they can retire. And they think they're going to live a different life. But the body's already broken by then for 90% of them. So then they got to pay all this money to fix the body back up. You have to start thinking differently. Get out of the comfort, find discomfort, and challenge yourself to be something better, something that you were made to be, an incredible human being with a purpose to achieve greatness. Not just get by, but achieve greatness. If you can find that, you can find a lot of success later on in life. Am I going to say that it's going to be easy? No. I'm living proof. It is not easy. I'm constantly working on things, constantly get sore here, constantly get sore there. Okay, what do I need to fix here? What do I need to fix there? But I keep challenging myself to be better every single day. The majority of you have stopped, especially as you age. You stopped. You got complacent and you got soft. And I'll say it right out loud. You got soft. You might not have been soft when you were younger, but you're soft now. Get away from that. Stop being soft. We don't need any more soft individuals in this world. We have plenty. Show me there's well too many. Even just one soft person is one too many. So we need to get away from that. We need to understand that we can be greater than what we honestly think we could possibly can be. But you have to put the three things together, the earth strong principles, spiritual, mental, and physical. It's a challenge and it's rough, but I'm telling you, the benefits are incredible. Reach out. Be blessed, guys. Have yourself a blessed day and take care.